Welcome dear students to Game 17, Gross and Microscopy Explained. I am sure that you people are familiar with the pictures on the screen. This incidentally, teratoma, is a question for you in pathology, surgery, OBG. It can be part of an essay or a short note, and the other important facts are given here. The definition: teratoma is a totipotential germ cell tumor with representations from all the three germ cell layers, namely the ectoderm, endoderm, and the mesoderm. The sites of the teratoma are ovary, testis, sacrococcygeal, retroperitoneum, mediastinum, anywhere in the midline of the body, outer angle of the eye. So these are the sites of the teratoma. It is not an emergency, but rather an incidental finding. However, in some conditions like torsion of the testis or ovary, it presents as a surgical emergency. And it can also coexist with other germ cell tumors such as the mucinous cystadenoma. Please remember this. The types of teratoma can be as follows. One is mature and immature. Another way of classifying is solid and cystic. And the third one is a specialized variant. Mature is usually a benign cystic teratoma commonly found in the ovary, and immature whereas is found in the testis. The ovarian teratoma is a commonly kept specimen in most colleges. In this I am finding a large cystic lesion measuring so many centimeters in diameter. If it were an ovarian tumor, I should look for the fimbrial end of the fallopian tube. The external surface is grayish white and smooth. Look for the fallopian tube. The cut surface shows both solid and cystic areas. Now, this is obviously a large cystic area, a unilocular cyst, and this is a solid area. The cyst can sometimes be multiloculated. What else am I seeing this? I am able to see a projecting lesion called the Rokitansky's protuberance. And from this I am finding tufts of hair which are floating into the cystic space. What is the importance of this space we shall be seeing. This is again a schematic photograph of the same. I am finding a cystic lesion. The cyst measures so many centimeters or millimeters in thickness, and it is showing solid areas by the yellow arrow, and the black one is the cystic space. I am also finding strands of hair which are projecting into the cystic space. This solid nodule is called the Rokitansky's protuberance or the mammillary body or the dermal nipple. The importance is it can contain elements such as an embedded tooth or fragments of bone or cartilage. Therefore, when we gross, we will have to study this particular area to see the representations from all the three germ cell layers. This again is a photograph retrieved from the net. I am finding a tooth over here, and it's also one. And I'm able to see some pasty material in the cystic space. That is probably something like sebaceous material. And there is a large unilocular cystic space. This is again a specimen of a cystic teratoma. I am able to see multiple cystic spaces, the largest measuring so many centimeters and the smallest so many centimeters in diameter. The wall is thin, hardly 1 or 2 millimeters in thickness, and the cyst is containing lot of pasty, sebaceous material. And in this I am finding are caught multiple tufts of hair, not strands but tufts of hair. So this is an example of a benign cystic teratoma. What is a short commercial break? Now look at these two. It is an example of an assorted packet of biscuits. Generally, I used to tell the students Britannia assorted biscuits, in which I am finding there can be sweet biscuits, there can be salt biscuits, cream biscuits, chocolate biscuits, and wafers, etc. They are all mixed together in a single pack without any relationship to each other. Why am I blabbering this? This is exactly what we are seeing in this picture. I am finding that there is an assorted pattern of tissue. I am finding cartilage. Look at this chondrocytes in a chondroid matrix. And I am finding connective tissue. So there are spindle-shaped cells, the connective tissue. It can be musculocollagenous or fibrocollagenous. Then S stands for sebaceous glands. I am finding large cells which are having a clear cytoplasm, central nucleus. These sebaceous glands are part of the skin. Fatty tissue, adipocytes are seen in sheets. And there are also some glandular elements I am finding which are lined by epithelium. But the catch is there is absolutely no relationship. So it is just like assorted biscuits. Dear students, please do not write assorted biscuits alone in the exam, must describe it properly. So epithelium, sebaceous glands, fat, cartilage, there might be bone, glands, neural tissue can be seen, lymphoid tissue can be seen. Since all are together, it is a classical diagnosis of a teratoma. This is again assorted, but a fantastic picture that has been retrieved from the stock photo. I am finding multiple glands over here. There are some spindle-shaped cells that are in bundles. This is a neural epithelium over here. Again, there is compressed gland. I am finding something like adipocytes in this region. So, and this is of course a lining epithelium I am finding. This particular thematic diagram you people can very easily draw in your exams as well as in your records. So it is composed of representations from all the three layers. The tissues such as the various epithelium, connective tissue, bone, cartilage, fat, etc. are seen. Lymphoreticular tissue might also be seen. Neural tissue can be present. There is no relationship of one to another. And these are all the various labels for it. Please compare. This is yet another slide of a teratoma. In this, I am finding a large island of cartilage composed of mature chondrocytes surrounded by chondroid matrix. And there is also a stratified squamous epithelium that is lined by keratin. Laminated keratin, that is layers of keratin, can be seen in this. There are a few glands that are seen beneath the squamous epithelium. And obviously, there are multiple bundles of connective tissue which are supporting all of these. So I'm finding a gland here, another gland, a cartilage, keratinase squamous epithelium, etc. This is a slide for teratoma. You people can very easily follow this. The variants of teratoma you must definitely write in your examinations. There are two variants. One is called struma ovariae, the other is carcinoid. And there can also be malignancies arising in a teratoma. What are the malignancies? It can be a squamous cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, malignant melanoma, rhabdomyosarcoma. How can I remember this? In fact, any of the elements that are seen in a teratoma can become malignant, but these are the most common. Struma ovariae. It is a specialized type of teratoma in which I am finding tissue which are resembling the thyroid follicles. So I am finding multiple follicles which are filled with homogeneous eosinophilic colloid. This is exactly, if a student is given this, they may think that it is a thyroid. So it is struma ovariae. Another variant is a monodermal carcinoid. Carcinoid is a tumor that arises from the amine precursor and decarboxylation cells. And they are all monomorphic. Monomorphic, they can be seen in various forms. I shall be dealing with it in detail under the GIT. But please remember that these two are variants of a teratoma. This question you may be asked in the examination. What is the difference between ovarian teratoma and testicular teratoma? Ovarian teratoma is generally cystic, testicular solid. Ovarian is mature, testicular is immature. Ovarian teratoma, you get mature neural tissue, whereas in the testicular teratoma, it has primitive neural epithelium or blastemal cells. Ovarian is benign, and in testicular teratoma, there are greater chances for a malignant transformation. See you in game 18.